Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk to you about being a bass player at a jam session. To a lot of people, this could be something that seems very overwhelming, but I'm here to give you a few tips to have fun, get the best of it, and really play your best. Okay, so tip number one, keep it simple. So I think every time I teach and I ask somebody to improvise, the first thing that they do is just play nonstop. Now let me ask you this. Is this simple? Now this may seem groovy and you can definitely work your way into it, but when I say simple, I mean this simple. Okay, so playing simple means try to come up with a motif that you can duplicate. You want something that's repetitive, you want something that is groovy, and most importantly, you want something that gives other people the opportunity to come along and work with you. If you keep on doing something different every time that you're playing, there's a different bar with different material and content in it, it doesn't give the people who play with you the opportunity to really match what you play and build on that groove. So playing simple really means come up with a small motif. Now, the way that you can really discover if it's simple enough or not is the fact that you can duplicate it. Most of the most famous bass lines we know are a motif that is being repeated over and over again. The jam bands that you know, the bass line is always a motif that keeps on repeating. What you want to create is some groovy motif that you can replicate, that people can follow along and people can add to. You want people to build on top of your groove. And this is something that can't really happen once you play something that is too complicated. There's definitely room for complex in a jam session, but usually it's something that you build up to until you have your moment and then you can play a lot. But in general, it's always a good guideline to just stick to something simple so everybody has space to come along and join playing with you and create something groovy that's consistent. If you're having a hard time coming up with the simple motif that is funky that you're happy with, let me know in the comments below and I can do a video that shows you how to come up with your own simple, groovy, tasteful bass line. Okay, now it is time for number two. So our second tip for playing bass at a jam session is to initiate. You don't have to wait for the drummer to come up with a groove. You don't have to wait for the guitar player to come up with a groove. You can come up with your own groove and just have everybody join you. Don't be shy. This is your time to kind of come up with whatever is you musically and share it with people and have them join in. You don't have to wait for somebody else to start it. You can also start something cool by yourself. Don't be shy. Step up. Do your thing. Tip number three, communicate. Yes, you're in a jam session. You're there to play with other people. So one thing would be to listen, whether it's the guitar or the keys and whatever chords they're playing, try to listen and try to match to what they're playing, or listen to the drummer, listen to their kick, to their snare, to their hi-hat. Listen and match yourself to what they're playing. Again, listening takes not playing. Don't try to play over them if you're not sure what is happening, or play very little and try to catch up with them or keep up with them and see what they're playing. So that's one thing, pretty obvious, listening, right? Another thing that you can do, look at them, especially if it's hard to hear, especially if you're not sure, your ear training is not there. That's okay. Not all of us are like ear training wizards, and that's fine. Most of us are not ear training wizards. So what you can do is if you play guitar and you're familiar with the shapes on guitar, look at the guitar player. If you're playing keys and you're familiar on the shapes on the keys, look at the keyboard player. That's okay. That's another way to find yourself. It's all about communicating, listening to each other, looking at each other. It's a lot of things that when you put them together, they help and they make you kind of make the music as one instead of just separate musicians, and it all sounds so much better when that happens. The last part of communication is also very important. If you feel really lost, let's say that the musicians there, the keyboard player, the guitar player, they didn't see this video and they're not playing simple enough and it's hard for you to keep up with, that's okay. stop for a second or go and be like, what are you playing? You know, and have them tell you what they're playing. If it's something that has a lot of tension and a lot of color tones and whatnot, just ask them. It will be much easier for you to get this short answer than trying for 32 bars to catch what they're playing and not playing at the same chord or scale that they're playing. It's a lot easier to just come, ask. We all put our egos in the side. You don't have to know what's going on at all times. You have to listen, you have to look, you have to ask. These are the kind of things that are going to help you understand what is happening and play accordingly with everybody all together. So tip number 4 for playing bass at a jam session is practice beforehand. It's actually not in the jam session itself. You can practice improvising before you get to the jam session so that you can come more prepared. Now, how does it look like? Practicing knowing your chords, practicing knowing your scales, practicing the bass lines that you love, and knowing what's their function in it. Meaning, if you take a bass line and you analyze it and you know, oh, that's the tonic of the chord, that's the root note, that's the flat 7, that's a 5, and so on, then you can take it and you can put it in a different situation on your own. Kind of like borrow a little bit, but if the groove is different, the harmony is different, all that is different, you can create something that is your own, inspired by something else. Usually you want to come to a jam session knowing a few cool licks that you can kind of take around and put in different chords, put in different scales, and have the ability to really play around and put them all over the bass and in different harmonic situation. So one thing is really getting the tools of knowing what to play when. It helps a ton. Another thing that you can practice beforehand is just practice improvising, but not to a band. Like you can actually take a play along, a track minus the bass, and just do your own thing. There's thousands of those, if not just on YouTube. So my tip, beforehand, practice your improvisation using tracks, using recording software, or even bring a friend in and have just a tiny little mini jam session and give yourselves feedback. Always a good thing to record it so you can really hear what it sounds like and learn from that after. Tip number 5 for bass in jam sessions is very simple. Go. Yes, go out. Get to that jam session. Do not chicken out. And then when you get to the jam session, sign up, go on stage. Yes, it is scary, but it is scary for everyone. And you're gonna have to do it sooner or later. And the more you do it, the less scary it feels like. Now you can go to a jam session of maybe your local bar, your local venue, your local cafe. But if this is too overwhelming, maybe start at a different jam session. It could be on somebody's porch or somebody's backyard. If nobody's doing it and you know a few people who are great musicians who are also good friends, bring them together. Be the one to initiate it and create a space that is safer for you if this is something that you hadn't done before and it's very overwhelming. Or again, bring a friend, bring 2 friends. Just play with people. Go out there. The bass is an instrument that is meant to be played as a group. It's very different when you practice something and you're just playing it alone versus playing it with living, breathing people. A, it's a lot more fun. B, it's a whole different set of skills. Again, you have to listen, you have to initiate, you have to communicate, you have to do all those things that are so important in bass playing. And it's also gonna make you come up with your own unique style based on all the influences that you love. So go out there, do your thing, play the bass with other people, don't chicken out. It's gonna be worth it. And just like any other skill, the more you do it, the more you feel good about it, the more you feel comfortable, the better you play. So go out there and do your thing. That's it. Those were my 5 tips for playing bass in the jam session. Hope it helped you if this is something you're not too sure of and feels a little bit overwhelming. If you're a seasoned bass player that plays in a lot of jam sessions, please feel free to share from your experience to the other bass players here. Share it right here in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you like those 5 tips and you found them helpful, please feel free to subscribe, hit that notification button so that you can see a lot more bass lessons and bass tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.